Then the Happy Meal shut her up.
Yeah.
I said, oh, baby, I cannot.
Not the
knowing
McDonald's.
what sauce you want for your nuggets is what gets your cooter moist, girl. That's what does it. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Love is Blind, Season 10, Episodes 10 and 11. We already have a part 1 up. This will be our part 2, which is going to focus on Alex and Ashley, Jordan and Amber, Britney and Devonte, and Christine and Vic. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And so before we get into these Love is Blind couples, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hype us up because we love having these convos with you guys. And be in the comments, share your opinions. We love talking back with you guys. So let's get
and just a side note, I love when y'all put the timestamp so I know exactly the part that y'all are talking about, because I go back and I'm like, yes, now I feel like we're in conversation. So love when y'all do that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into Ashley and Alex. A mess.
Where I want to start with them is that conversation after the meetup. I'm sure we're going to go back to the meetup, but this conversation after the meetup, my initial thought was just like, Ashley, it does not matter, babe. It doesn't matter. I am having a hard time understanding why she is trying to fill in all of these gaps. It's like there is a level of uncertainty here that is making you extremely uncomfortable because you keep addressing it and you keep asking the exact same questions. And so what is stopping you from saying, right, like, it's like, girl, leave. Leave, especially if you know that you are somebody who historically has had difficulties with seeing the red flags and leaving, right? Like, if this is the experience where you're saying you're trying to turn a new leaf in how you date and how you show up in partnership,
then
why are you seeing all of these red flags and staying?
Yeah.
You saw your daddy question this man to the hilltop, okay?
Call him a liar
and
off
now
that.
Right. And now you questioning this man over and over and over again and saying, I'm not trying to catch you up, but you are. You are trying to catch him up, because at this point, it's not for the basis of your understanding, because you have a basis of understanding that this man is all over the place and he cannot provide me stability because there is no stability in his life. And so I think that is enough information, Ash, girl, to just say, I gotta go. And so I am perplexed. I'm perplexed. And then the Happy Meal shut her up.
Yeah.
I said, oh, baby, I cannot.
Not the McDonald's.
Knowing what sauce you want for your nuggets is what gets your cooter moist, girl. That's what does it.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing I said. I was like, you smiling a little too hard for just this being some McDonald's, first of all. And then secondly,
10 piece, 20 piece,
yeah,
large fry, Coke.
It's like, as women,
sauce, hot mustard, honey mustard.
Time. Yes, smiling too hard. But as women, I feel like it's these little things that we sometimes allow to be endearing to us. Like, oh, he knows my comfort food, or he put a blanket over me. And it's like these good things. I mean, if it does it for her, it does it for her. Let's just count it. Knowing her comfort food order is an endearing thing for her. Let's say it is, right? We count those things as like chips, like, oh, yeah, this is great. He did a great job. So you start to ignore the other things. But it's like every single fucking thing, every bad thing in the world has a good upside. And we be so married to the upside of things that we forget about the bad side, right? Crack got an upside. Shit, that when they're high, that's the upside, motherfucker. That's the upside. And so it's like, yeah, he's going to have some upsides. Yeah, he's going to have some, he knows your comfort food. Yeah, he's going to maybe have good sex with you. I don't know. He's going to have an upside. But it's the downside that you need to pay attention to, because the downside of some of these things will take you out. And this lying, it's going to take her out. It was just ridiculous. She kept saying like, oh, I've been lied to before. Yeah, he's lying to you again. You know what I'm saying? You've come upon another one. You've come upon another man who is lying. So just cut it. But yeah, that whole conversation. And when we circle back to the meetup conversation with Priyanka,
Yeah, girl.
That because I was like, let's go there.
But
are you ready?
Before we
go, okay.
No, hold on. I do want to respond to what you were saying about like these upsides. I think it's so important as you get older, especially in dating. Now, when you're younger, 20s, I would even say like even late 20s, I think it's hard to understand what can disarm you. But as you get older and you've had multiple dating experiences, it is so important to understand what disarms you and puts you back into a space where you are discounting whatever it is that you are feeling. I do understand that feelings are not facts. I understand that. But when you can't vocalize or materialize what it is that your gut is like constantly keeping you unsettled, like your nervous system is having a conversation with you and it's telling you, we are not safe, this is not stable, this isn't fun, that is enough. Like, we have to allow that to be enough, because men are really like, they are intelligent beings. They just weaponize their incompetence sometimes and act like they don't know what's up, but they know what's up, and they know how to disarm that unsettling feeling. And that's exactly what happened in this conversation with the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets and sex. It get her every single time. I'm like, girl, no. And like, it's not like I'm sitting here saying she's dumb or anything, because I have been there. I have recently had to come into understanding what disarms me. And for me, it's a man who is calm. And Alex kind of has this a little bit too, where he comes to her concerns with this very calm and stable energy where it's like, no, it's all right, it's okay. And that can make you feel like you're the crazy one in the situation. And so I think this situation was just such a highlight of like, you got to understand what disarms you and what will take you further and further and further away from listening to what your own body is telling you when you cannot put it into words.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you said that. That was a really good point. And on the feelings aren't facts, I'm glad you pointed that out, that there's like a but, to that, And I think the but that you're explaining to me is like, they shouldn't even have that phrase in the first place. Like, I don't like, feelings aren't facts. Like, feelings are facts. They're the facts that you feel, like, right? They're not facts of the external world. They're facts internally. They're saying, I don't feel good. I feel unsafe. I feel, apprehensive. And that is what it sounds like what you're saying, is that people aren't honoring and paying attention to that and responding to that. And so feelings are not facts of the external world, but they are facts to our internal world. And I would love for us to have a asterisk on that statement, because the men loves using that sometimes. Feelings aren't facts. And so I love that you broke that down that way. And so let's get into the conversation with Priyanka. Off rip though. I want to say that like, he tried to check Priyanka, like he tried to check her. And I'm like, you wouldn't be able to check me like that, bruh. Because first of all, he's like, is it our relationship or is it yours? It's like, bitch, are we in a bar? I was just sitting here shooting the shit. Your messiness is falling onto my lap. So, bitch, clean that shit up, okay? But she was there a little long, but she left when she needed to leave. But it's like, they're
was there too long. I think she did not leave when she needed to leave. She should have left in the very beginning and said, I'm going to leave this to y'all. She inputting facts and whatnot. It's like, I don't know. If I was Priyanka, I probably would have been like, look, it sounds like y'all have a lot to discuss. Whether or not you was dating somebody when I met you, didn't meet you, whatever. It's just like, you have that girl chat with Ashley, if that's what you want to have. I'm not really sure where Priyanka's loyalties were lying in that situation.
Yeah,
it just seems
I'm
like
not sure either.
She was like just feeding a fire. And so to me, it was just kind of, I was sitting there like, Priyanka, girl, mind your business. Mind your business. This is one of them times where you gotta say, it's not my business. Like, this is y'all's relationship, whatever. Yeah. Like, and if I don't know if it sounds like it came up in a random conversation with Ashley, but at that point, it's like, Ashley, you go to your man and you say, I had this conversation with Priyanka, and so it has me feeling a little unsettled. Can you walk me back through the timeline or whatever it is she was needing in that moment, instead of bringing Priyanka into the conversation? Because again,
it seemed like
you already know the answer, right? You already know the answer. You already know the answer.
I don't know.
And maybe
I wasn't mad.
I might be biased. I might be biased because I didn't like that Priyanka was in that other conversation with Chris and Ashley and Bree with all that going on. And so I'm just like, Priyanka, girl, you keep finding yourself in conversations you don't need to be in. and staying too long.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear your point on it for sure. I think I'm just on the side of truth. I'm like, let the truth spill, let it roll, however it rolls. Okay. So, yes, give us some more details, Priyanka, because what was it actually? I'm trying to hear. I'm trying to understand, like, was he in Austin? Was he living? Because that whole conversation, I'm going to tell you, I still don't understand it. I'm still unclear. And I watched it twice. And I said, you know what? It's not for me to know. It's above me. What the people say, it's above me. It's not for me to
The
know.
producers didn't even know how to give us that conversation because it was another chopped and screwed conversation because it was too much. As soon as that man said, "Do you want me to show you my Airbnb?" It's given you wasn't living anywhere. You have no home. At that point, you need to stop saying you are living places. Airbnb sounds like short vacation stays to me. And I know they have, long-term stays, but it's not called a rental. It's not a rental. You ain't signing no lease. You are signing off as if you are staying at a hotel.
Yeah.
Where things are being provided to you, where you have accommodate.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have said, like, no, let me see. Yeah, let me see it. Because if you're going to engage, Ashley, engage. You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
If you're going to stay there long enough to try to find out all the information, you're like, yeah, let me see it, run it. But he says that shit because he knows she's going to be like, I don't want to see, no, I don't want to see your, yeah, run it. Because he's the only person speaking the truth and delivering her the facts. So it's like, yeah, let me have a third party. Let me have Airbnb.
Because he knows how to disarm her. That's the only reason why he's bringing this up, and she's just like, no. And that's another thing we got to stop doing. When a man want to provide you the evidence, and we want to back up and be like, no, I don't want to be the snoopy one. I don't want to be the nosy one. It's like, no, go ahead and get all the clarity you need. If you're going to be here, like you said, dive right on in. Yeah. Show me the text messages. Show me the screenshots. And actually go ahead and give me the phone number since this is just a friend, so we can all be friends. You know what I'm saying? So...
yeah.
Are you inviting her to the wedding? What's going on? How much of a friend is she for real? And when he said, he was like, I have not spoken to her, but she's happy for me. How you know she happy for you if you have not spoken to her?
Yeah. And also it's like, it's given that she has a boyfriend, and maybe that is part of why y'all are not together. If she didn't have a boyfriend, would y'all be together? You know what I'm saying? Is she somebody you're still interested in? It's given that. Like, why are we friends?
Or
with
they
exes?
are buddies a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't agree with being friends with exes unless these exes are like childhood friends, where it's like, okay, we're just trying to work back into like preserve this lifelong bond we had, or they were really friends before, like years and years and years of friends, and then it was a dating experience that wasn't significant, like maybe a couple months or something like that. But no friends with exes. But yeah, he was confusing in that whole thing. My license says Cleveland.
And who cares about any of that? Like that I was literally living when I first moved to where I live now, I had Virginia plates.
Oh, yeah.
And Arizona, Arizona license with East something address. Like, it was all over the place. It meant nothing. Why? Because I have lived in so many places at this point. And so it's a compilation of everything. You know what I'm saying? So
same.
So it's like, no, babes, that means absolutely nothing.
These things that he's throwing up, it doesn't prove anything. So it is what it is. I thought in that conversation, though, he was also disrespectful to her and talking about like, oh, you want me to tell you anytime I jerk off? Like, actually, if I was like, yeah, how about you do that? Run me a report every morning, bitch, since you want to be so flippant about it. Like,
that goes back to when he said, why didn't you fuck me?
Yeah, no, baby, you did say that.
I'm telling you, no, you're not talking to me like I'm your wife. You ain't talking to me with care and concern, and like I'm your delicate flower. What Keanu Taylor said about Aaron Pierre, he treats me like a cup of tea. I know they ain't together no more, but you need to treat me like a cup of tea, okay? And that's not deal with me delicately.
Yeah.
Point blank period.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on into their date. It was a cute little setup. And I was like, see, he know what he's doing.
The fireplace. But he ain't had shit to say. She was talking and running that whole conversation. That's why it's like, everything can look cute, but the substance of it, she was like, all right, you can ask me questions. And he was like, I just did. Didn't I? No, I didn't. He just there. He just there. And you could be anybody plopped into that role, but it just happens to be you. You gotta discern whether the person is there for the substance of you or just the shell of you,
Yeah. And not only that, it's like he's not even present with you because he's not even in the conversation. He doesn't know if he asked you a question or not, girl. Like,
Yeah.
And then the questions you ask him, what you want to do for your first sis? What you want to do for your first sis? What you want to do for your first sis? It's like, it was given so shallow, so elementary, so just not, we're about to walk down the aisle. You talking about what you like about him, and he's well traveled, he's into day trading, not one characteristic or actual traits about this person. Same thing with him. It's like, this is not gonna work out. At this point, I think they both just on here for the camera time.
I don't know what's happening. I don't put it past her though that it's that red flag issue that she talked about in her bio. Like, I have trouble seeing the red flags. I think that she thinks he's attractive, and it'd be so great if this really turned out to be a good relationship that I could have. You know, you want it. You want a thing, and you want it to be the thing that was your fantasy, and it's just acceptance that it's not. And so cut it. You know, it's harder. It's easier said than done. Not trying to knock anybody, because as women, you know, we want to see, we fill in the gaps. We see the vision.
Yeah, I agree. And then my last point on them, I think he had made like some type of soccer reference to life, and it's like, you can't always plan things out. You gotta just trust that things will work out. And I'm like, see, that stuff right there, like, again, an inability to plan, and it's reflective in how he lives his life. If this man really wanted to settle down and have a wife, he would be talking about how to settle down and have a wife.
Yeah. I do.
He talking about something. He want a Dubai account or a house in Switzerland or whatever he said, New Zealand. It's like, please.
A safe house at that. I was like, what is a safe house about? But anyway, I did want to talk about their tux and wedding dress fittings. I like the first dress better than the second dress, but the second dress was like very basic. But I guess I'm like, that's just like what she rolling with, you know. The thing I did want to speak about is them crying, or her crying. Really, all them brides. Because Brittany, we gotta get to her too. It's like, y'all out here showing all this emotion when y'all men are not befitting this emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you out here crying and giving it all this energy when the men you got at home, like, they're not worth it. And so it's giving that this is really not about them, and it's not about who you picked or picking a guy who's going to make you feel good. It's about these check boxes of like having these moments, you know, especially Brittany. When we get to that a little bit later, I'll speak more about it. But yeah, that's that. And then on the tux fitting, Alex talking about it, just, I don't know, it just feels like a normal day. I'm not, you know, I'm not nervous. Emotion. I'm not, you know, emotion. Yeah. I'm like, these are the words of a man who woefully underestimates what he is getting himself into, who just doesn't, I don't think he has an understanding of what partnership is, what a life with someone is. I think he's just rolling forward to do it. And if it doesn't work out, I'll get a divorce. You know, like, I don't think he has any idea of what it takes, or I don't think he's ready. So
yeah,
that's
this is
all
just
I
another
to
experience for him. Just another experience, just another day, just another adventure. It's nothing more, nothing less for him at all. But yeah, I also do agree with you with what you were saying about just the checkbox in marriage. And oftentimes, like, you know, as I'm getting older, and like, I know people who are getting married, and then I'm hearing about all of these stories either right before the marriage or after the marriage, where it's like, it wasn't pretty. Like, what made you say, yes, this is what I want to do? But it's often those people who want the image of marriage. Like, they want the thing. Like, there are a lot of people who just want to be married. And I think you give yourself the short end of the stick. And what could be something so beautiful when you do that. Because if they were to say yes, Ashley or a Britney, and everyone was a yes in these parties, it wouldn't be a happy life. Like, it's not happy now. You know, in the first 6 weeks, it's not happy. And so, and you're having to settle, you know, with all of these things that you actually don't want in a relationship. It goes back to what we said about Emma and Mike. Like, why would you say yes in that type of situation knowing you guys are unaligned on a very large value? It doesn't make sense. But let's go ahead and get into Britney and Devonte on that note, because she bought the dress, before the experience, which I'm not necessarily against that. I think it's a great manifestation practice. I've heard stories of women saying, I saw this dress, I bought it, I knew it was gonna be my wedding dress, or certain things. And so I in that regard, I'm like, okay, cool. It's a nice whimsical addition to your love story and to life. Cool beans. I am like, girl, you ain't even gonna get called pretty on the wedding day.
I know, right? And I'm like, don't waste it. Don't waste this dress you bought and wear it to a wedding that you don't actually get a marriage out of. Like, that's my biggest thing with her is like, don't walk. Because I feel like once you walk down the aisle, are you going to walk down your next wedding with it? Or are you going to pick a
Maybe
new
she'll
dress?
cut it. Maybe it'll be the reception dress, a little cocktail dress.
It's very nice. It flatters her very well. But yeah, like I said, on that dress, she's another one. I saw this thing recently. Someone was talking about their therapist made them put a list together of all the qualities in a man that they would want. And they came with the list and they were like, this list is superficial. Your list needs to be a relational list. Like, what are the things that you want him to, how you want to feel in the relationship? And it's like, just like what you said, these girls, especially her, it's like, this ain't how you want to feel, girl. This is not. And so all this, the crying, all of the, it just, I'm excited. Like, she's talking a lot about, now I get to do this and now we get to do that. Very checkboxy. Hopefully what needs to happen happens for her. Let's talk about their date and him doing, I think somebody was like soft launching ghosting. Not him soft launching him about to ghost her. And
the date, I was like, what a lackluster date. Once he said the type of money he was pulling in, he said $12,000 a month sometimes it's $40,000 a month. Both great figures monthly. Why the hell y'all in a hot tub?
I thought they had
worlds apart.
I thought they had like a chateau or a cabin or something. I thought
that
was their date. I was thinking that they had a weekend stay away somewhere or something. That's what I was thinking.
I thought they was at the house. I was like, they just went to a little hot tub. What's going on here?
I think they were out in the mountains type of, thing. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Okay, well, that makes more sense. But I definitely I'm with you. He was definitely saying, yeah, I just need to disappear. Go ghost for a couple of days or a day, be unreachable. And it's like, this is how he is telling you, and he's been saying it, by the way. He's been saying he needs alone time and all the things, but this is how he handles either overwhelming situations, stressful situations, possibly conflict. Is basically stonewalling you, which is the most unhealthy way to be in a relationship. There's something called the 4 horsemen that's based on how, if you go to a couples therapist, they just kind of break down these different types of communication. And through research, it has shown that stonewalling is the number one thing you do not do in a marriage. And when you do it, it's like one of the number one predictors to divorce, because you cannot silence yourself from someone. Like, it just doesn't work. And when Amber did it, I was like a little irritated with her, because I'm like, girl, come on now. We can't just be tipping off like that. You gotta communicate. And so I'm like, Brittany, he's telling you right now, this is how he deals with things. And this might be a little spoiler warning, but exes are coming out of the woodwork.
Oh, don't tell me nothing, okay? Because I don't want no spoilers. I've been avoiding all the spoilers because I want to know.
Okay, well, these are exes, so it's not necessarily about it's about the past. But either way,
what did he say in the past?
Yeah, either way, this is what he does. He does this, and while he's doing this, he with other women. He got other lives with other women. So he's stonewalling you because of a conflict that he possibly created.
That's what
he out with another girlfriend.
Oh my God, Love is Blind. I need y'all to pick better men. These Love is Blind producers.
They honestly, what they should do is they should have, like, when we do psychological assessments, we have what are called collateral rater forms, where people in your lives get to answer some questions based on who you are. Right?
Yes.
I don't know if this is a part of the process, but they most definitely should survey at least your last 2 exes. Like,
I was just about to say that.
They need to survey the last 2 exes and a couple of different people in your life, a friend, a sibling, a parent, and maybe like a mentor or something. Like they need to get the lay of the land. People that see you in different environments, have observed you at different parts of your life, to get a full picture. Because when I get that collateral data, it'd be like, oh, okay, I see. And this is your words, not mine. All right, got it. So it's necessary. It's necessary in stuff like this because you are harming people.
Yeah, and I think Love is Blind, I don't think they're invested in that way, but it's like eventually your show is, maybe you didn't have to do it in the beginning because the show was such a success, but to keep the show being a success, I personally do think that they are going to have to shift how they vet men. You get what I'm saying? Love is Blind for seasons 11 through on, but I think it's different. The women come in and you may have a couple that pop off, but for the most part, you have some decent marryable women. At this point, it's becoming a joke that Love is Blind just does not have enough non-trash men, you know? Even when they have someone like we spoke about in the last Love is Blind Part 1 for this drop of episodes, we were saying how Kevin, he's not ready, but he's not the worst guy. But even him, he's not ready. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe a mother or a friend or somebody would have been like, I don't know, in that collateral, data that they collected. And so I think they need to do this for these men. They need to have a separate vetting process for these men that is a little different than the women, because their data is showing them these men are falling through the cracks, and you got to do a little bit more to make sure that these ladies are safe and that for the integrity of your experiment. So yeah, one of the things I do want to point out with regard to Devonte in that conversation, though, was he kept saying, like, it's been weighing on me. And it's like, to me, that's another red flag that should have kind of stuck out for Brittany, because it's like, and he was like, in a good way. And it's like, don't try to clean it up, bruh. It's weighing on me.
It is no good
sounds
way.
Like a burden, it sounds like a weight, And so I'm just like, he just talking.
Yeah, he also said that he's never had this pressure in a relationship because you can just drag things out.
Yes, that too.
I wrote that down. This is how you know these men know what they doing. They know what they doing, y'all. You can't get in the time of day. That's why I be like, so just man eater-ish. Like, yeah, be mean. Set your standards and be mean, and let them know, like, you're not about to sit here and play with my time. Cause what?
Yeah.
You can historically, you can drag things out. So how many women were you just dragging things out with at your big age?
And he said something to the camera. He was like, I would say that I'm definitely worried about it. Like, the wedding date, and it's just like, this is a man who is not interested. This is a man who is not committed. This is all the red flags. And for Brittany to like say, I'm a yes, I'm Brittany, I need you to not, like, I don't understand. I think that we have done women such a disservice in this whole, like, trying to wrangle in women's emotions by telling them there are things for you to work on too. And there are things for us to work on as women, but there's been, I feel like, such a movement to like equalize things, as to like, oh, you need to accept how he operates and he needs to accept how you operate. And so it's got her handicapped a little bit, being like, oh, he's just this type of guy, I need to accept how he operates. And it's like, yeah, you need to accept things that are not your deal breakers. You know what I mean? Like, accept, like, if you have a thing for wanting to feel loved, wanting to have the person adequately express to you that they are interested in you physically, don't just be accepting inadequacy in that area. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you want him to close the cabinets or, pick his laundry up, and that's not a deal breaker, then accept that. You get what I'm saying? Accept that, like, okay, he's not the cleanest person or whatever. But on these deal breakers, it's like, we do ourselves a disservice trying to be like, this is how he is, and you just talk yourself out of your knowing, your intuition.
Yeah. So. But also too, I think the problem is that she is not identifying it as a deal breaker. She's not seeing that she is truly longing for this to be present in her relationship. No matter how many times she's saying it, it's not clicking. And I think because like you said, the disservice is we are told, oh, just accept it. Then it, again, it quiets that little voice. It calms that nervous system because you don't want to be the rowdy, touty woman going around yelling and doing all the things and being the person
overly
to
emotional,
withhold the sex and all the other things that happen when stuff like this starts to brew in a relationship. You just say, okay, it is what it is. He's like this. So yeah, not only knowing what disarms you, but also knowing what is an actual deal breaker, which if you go back to what you said about what that therapist said, if you just list out how you want to feel in a relationship. And a lot of times if you have good friendships, you can it's like a direct linear thing, right? Like a lot of times if I look at my best friends, like if I had that in like a male form, somebody who considers me in this way, thinks about me in this way, we would be good. It would be straight. You know what I'm saying? Give me that. And so if you don't know how to think about it, think about your best friends that you've been in relationships with a while, or you just feel very
cared
very
for
safe
and loved.
in. And cared for. And start there.
Yeah. And one of the things when you're just talking, it made me think of when you start doing that accepting of his behaviors that are deal breakers for you, that's where the self-abandonment starts, you know, because it's like it's quiet self-abandonment. It's like you're saying to yourself like, oh, this is how he is. Meanwhile, you're turning offline the things inside of you that want and need these different things. Like, I want to feel loved this way. I want to be touched. I want to be a man to think I'm a baddie, the baddie that you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if because I don't think she ends up with him, but imagine if she spent a whole life with him. Imagine the unfulfilled expression of appreciation for her baddiness that she could be missing out on. You know what I'm saying?
And don't let a man tell her on the street. Don't let the man at the job tell her. Don't let the man at the gym tell her. Like, straight up, they be talking about something what one woman won't do, another woman will. No, what one man won't do, another man will. Point blank, period. And I have seen takes where they're focusing on the fact that she wants to be called pretty. Like, this is why women can't express themselves and get what they want out of a relationship, because you more so worried about what it means that she want to be called pretty versus this man telling her, I don't want to call you pretty. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
People are fussing at her about that.
Yes.
I've not even seen it. That's wild.
I'm like, what? They're literally like, she needs to work on that to be what? Why? Who does not want to be looked at as good looking and attractive to their partner, especially when y'all are just meeting each other. Y'all just had this very intimate experience where you're not seeing each other. The first thing you better be telling me is, oh baby, you look so good rubbing on my booty, all the things. I want to know, baby, you want all of this, okay? And you better say it 1,010 times until we get to that altar.
Yeah. I feel like it would be different if he was giving her reassurance in any way that he felt that she was attractive. Like, people get caught up on semantics of things, talking about whether pretty is a, I guess, a vanity metric they're trying to say, she needs to work on herself. But it's like, you're missing the point, buddy. The point is that she is sensing there is a missing key element, attraction, in this relationship. And she's right. And she's right. And so she's asking for, there's a deficit here. There's a deficit, or it seems like there's a deficit. Reassure me that there's not. And he never can do it. And so she's asking and asking because he never feels it. He never feels it. And so the deficit remains and grows larger, or she just cuts it offline and the self-abandonment starts. So it's just like, girl, you know, hoping for the best for her, but, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into Jordan and Amber. I had mentioned before, I was not a fan that she was ghosting him. I felt like his feelings were 110% valid.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was a great feeling to have that he is scared about this commitment, not because he doesn't want to do it, but because one, is something he's never considered, and now he's truly considering it. And I'm like, he is showing up as somebody who is excited for this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, him having a little bit of like, ooh, what am I about to get into? And I have not met her daughter before I'm saying yes at the altar. Very real and valid feelings.
Yeah.
Girl.
I was like, Amber, I'm gonna have to do you like I did Tyler. Like, Amber, okay, Amber. I was like, girl, I definitely felt him on that. In my mind, I watched it twice. I was like, did she mishear, or is what he's saying about it being a scary process still triggering? She did say when they ended up talking that it was upsetting that he shared that with the guys first and not her, which is a valid point, but it's not, okay, let me not talk to you for 2 days, valid. You expressed that to him. I really didn't like that. I didn't like that you shared that with them and you didn't share it with me. And it didn't have to be a hot take right there. And if you want to call this thing off, you can in front of everybody. It could have been eavesdropping. Yeah, it could have been an at-home conversation on the ride away from the place conversation. But she a firecracker. We pointed that out in the last. And it was towards Chris, but like she's a firecracker, and so she do need to calm that piece down. And obviously, it comes from her trauma and things like that. But she does need to calm that down a little bit. Work on it. She need to work on it. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah, for sure. But I will say, I think the repair was great. Their conversation was great. He remained calm. He did not change up his position. He said, no, like, this is how I was feeling. It gave her space to also say how she was feeling. And I thought it was great. I said, okay. At first, I was like, are they not going to make it because of the preview clip we had in the very first drop of the Love is Blind episodes this season, where he kind of like stormed
taking off the mic. Yeah. We haven't seen
that moment. But the way this went, I was like, okay, they might have a fighting chance, and I'm excited for them. They seem so in love, so into each other. There's no, in comparison to Britney and Devonte, there's no question whether or not Jordan finds Amber fine, baby. The way they were smacking lips in the middle of that arcade, and the swarming and the theatrics. I said, yes, honey, get your man, get your man, get your man. He already talking about he got a gift and stuff ready for the baby, for Emma.
Yeah,
well, she ain't a baby. She's 7, but.
One of the things, listening to him speak, I'm like, he must not be around a lot of kids. Because I'm like, him be like, what if she doesn't like me? It just seems like he just doesn't know kids. It's like, bruh, kids like everybody. Like, maybe they don't like the aunt who's like bossy and telling them what to do. But kids, like, as long as you're not like a lump on a log, you're just not there doing nothing and not mean, they like you. You get what I'm saying? It's easy to impress kids.
Valid. No, I think it's valid. I think it's something to worry about.
To impress
especially
kids.
If you don't have a good kid meter.
That's what I'm saying. It's giving he has not been around kids. Because if you've been around kids, it's like kids are the easiest thing in the world. Like you just, and he seems like an animated guy. Bring that animation to the moments. You're gonna be fine. Like you're gonna be fine.
Sure it's gonna be okay.
So I think it's just that. It's just a thing of like them not dealing with kids. One of these dates, they need to be going to like Married at First Sight when I can't remember that couple, Derek and whatever, they went to go and babysat for a friend.
Oh, their nieces, or their nephews. They had the nephews. Yeah,
they need to go babysit for a friend of the family and do some like little work with kids sort of activity as a date. Just give him a little bit of energy and experience doing that, and then also she can see how he is in that setting, because it'll unlock.
I think so. I think I have faith in them, but we'll see what they say on decision day. Do you have anything else on them, or can we go ahead and go into Christine and Vic?
I was gonna say that her dress was really cute, so I was just like, yeah, that's all on them. Yeah. Okay. And also, not to go back too far, but on the Devonte and Brittany thing, I meant to bring up that prenup, girl. The prenup. Like, I was like, not you bringing it up at the nth hour because you like, oh, everything else ain't batted her away. Because men like to push you. If they're not interested, they like to push you away. And so you walk away. And so I'm like, now the prenup, he brought up the big dogs, be like, okay, now it's a prenup. But he's like, I didn't want to.
Last day.
I know.
On the last
he was like, I want to see how it goes.
Girl, patterns. I
didn't want to jump right into it. It's like, bruh, you're in a 30-day process. You're jumping right in. What are you talking about? You didn't want to bring this up earlier because you didn't want to jump right in. Like, stop.
As soon as you signed the contract, you jumped in, buddy. I didn't even care what his reasoning and logic was. I'm looking at Britney. Like, girl, again, how he handles conflict in overwhelming situations. There are patterns here. Why in the hell would a man that wants to marry you, that loves you, and that sees you as God's most precious thing on earth want to bring you a very large decision the day before you have to make a large decision? Absolutely. Why would he put that pressure on your back like that, girl? Please.
Yeah.
Why would he be going into an experience where you are supposed to get married and not bring that up in the pods if that was something he was very, very much so concerned about? Or at the very least, like Devin and Virginia, I don't know what season of Love is Blind that was, But on that season, they brought it up very early in the we're back
Yeah.
home process.
Yeah.
You
Agreed.
bring
Agreed.
that type of stuff up early. You're not.
Early.
Why would you give
Because
somebody
she,
that type of weight that you love, and she
right.
not even? I'm like, girl, what?
Because it's like she'll want to see, like, have an attorney look at it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not even giving her that time. So I'm so glad you pointed that out. That why would a man who loves you put you in a bind this way? And
Yes.
that's one of the things that, like, we really do as women have to start making sure that we're paying attention to, having lenses like that when we're talking to these men.
It's like,
But
what does
anywho,
this mean? What does this mean? Like, in
yeah,
the most.
it means it's an excuse. It's an excuse because everything else that he done thrown at you has not caused you to go away. And so, and maybe Brittany is sitting here like, I'm just gonna be here and I'm gonna keep marching forward, and you're gonna have to put on your big girl panties and tell me you're not trying to be here. Maybe she's
What a
doing
way.
that, but
What a way to do that. What a way, child. All right, let's get into Christina and Vic.
yeah,
Tried and true.
not
I think they're gonna make it. I think they're gonna make
yeah,
it. Vic, I mean,
yeah,
that is a gentleman. That's a gentleman. When they was picking out the bouquets, he was like, "What you
yeah,
want? You want them short? You want them long? You want to be able to do
yeah.
this?" I said, "Baby, you know what? Wrap it up. Wrap it up, baby. Christine, you got you a good one." Of course,
Yeah,
again, I wish it was black love, but I'm happy for you, girl. I'm happy
yeah.
for you. I am happy for him. Um,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's interesting, y'all. He doesn't have any reservations. That's what he said. And so I'm like, And we didn't see his family, so I'd like to see his family. It does seem
Oh
like the
yeah, the
sister's gonna be at the next.
preview.
Yeah. So I'm like,
That sister, baby, because
okay.
the sister's gonna always come in. Because I be on my brothers, and who is she? No.
Yeah, yeah. But I liked her dress that she did. I like the
Yeah.
dress that she ended up choosing. Hold on, let me take it back. Oh yeah,
Everybody had a simple. Oh,
yeah, her first dress I didn't like that she tried on. I didn't like her first dress, and I was like,
or the
when she
second.
said I hate it, I was like, okay, because I was like, I didn't like the first dress either. But overall, the last one was cute. I did like the last one. At least that was in my notes. I can't remember it. I like the sparkly one too, though, but she didn't like that
I didn't
one.
like that. I didn't like that.
Oh, really?
Sparkly
I
one.
liked it.
I
I
didn't think
liked
it
it.
looked well on her.
Okay. But I think she
yeah,
could have
no.
used she had more boobs. Like it could have really been a nice dress on her. But I think everything else fit her. It just the boobs were a little like it's for a woman who has a little bit more boom boom right there. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But anywho, that's all I have on them. They never show them enough for us to even have enough conversation on them.
I
So
know. But I do think they are going to be a successful Love is Blind story, at least for now. We'll see
yeah.
what that family do.
Yeah.
And he is a man from Brooklyn, and what I know
Yeah.
about people from Brooklyn, baby, family is everything. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how that goes. How much influence a sister has. It seems like a lot
Oh, yeah.
since she had a very seemed like strong opinion.
Yeah.
But hopefully they still make it through no matter what, because it seems like they really are into each other. So, and that's what matters at the end of the day. So yeah, that is it for these episodes of Love is Blind. Again, we covered season 10, episodes 10 and 11. Make sure you drop your thoughts in them comments. What are we thinking at this point, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems? And we will catch you for the next batch of episodes. Make sure you hit that follow button, that subscribe button, and thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.